Dawn broke over the city of Abuja, painting the sky in shades of gold and fire. But inside the sprawling, fortress-like walls of Chairman Obinna Nneka's private Maitama mansion, there was no light, only absolute darkness. For the first time in his life, the invisible titan of real estate was completely paralyzed. He had spent the entire night pacing his study, trapped in a nightmare he couldn't buy his way out of. His stepbrother, Chief Obinna, was locked away in a DSS cell. But before the handcuffs clicked, Obinna had activated a hidden, venomous clause in Obinna's late father's will. A clause that stated Obinna would instantly forfeit 80% of his 8 billion naira empire if he married a woman without a royal or billionaire lineage. Obinna closed his eyes. His chest tightened. How could he look Nneka in the eyes, the woman who had shared her only plate of food with a dirty sweeper, and tell her that her love was about to cost him his entire life's work? The heavy door of the study clicked open. It was Barrister Kalu, Obinna's fiercely loyal, silver-haired lead attorney. He walked in holding a thick brown folder. "Chairman," Kalu whispered, his voice echoing in the quiet room. "The board of directors is assembling right now. Chief Balogun, Obinna's right-hand man, has taken control of the boardroom. They are demanding your signature by 12 p.m. today. You either sign a public declaration annulling your engagement to Nneka, or you sign over 80% of E's group." Obinna stared out at the city, the skyscrapers he built, the thousands of employees he fed, the legacy his father had bled for. "Is it will ironclad, Kalu?" Obinna asked, his voice rough. "It is, sir," Kalu sighed heavily. Obinna hid it for years, waiting for the perfect moment. "Nneka is a wonderful woman, Chairman, but she is a roadside caterer from a poor family. She has no royal blood. She has no billionaire pedigree." "Kalu, make you mind how you talk about my fiancé. You hear me so?" Obinna snapped at Kalu, his heart tightening the more. "So sorry, sir. But, sir, if you stay with her, you will lose everything. The board will strip you of your power before sunset." But what Obinna didn't know was that Nneka was standing right outside the door. She had woken up early in the massive master bedroom. Despite the army of chefs in the mansion, Nneka's humble heart had wanted to make her man his morning tea herself. She had walked barefoot down the grand hallway, balancing the silver tray, ready to surprise him. But as she reached the study, she heard Kalu's voice. She heard the words roadside caterer and lose everything. Nneka froze. Her hand clamped tightly over her mouth to stop the sob from escaping her throat. Her body began to shake so violently that the porcelain teacup rattled against the silver saucer. Inside the room, Obinna's jaw tightened. A man who chooses money over the woman who loved him when he was nothing is the poorest man in the world. "Prepare the transfer papers, Kalu," Obinna commanded. "Let them take the 80%. "Sir," Kalu muttered. Obinna snapped back at him. "So what?" "I said prepare the documents." "Okay, sir," Kalu said. Outside, hot, bitter tears streamed down Nneka's cheeks. He is going to lose his empire, she thought, her mind spinning in horror. Because of me. Because I am a nobody. She couldn't let him know she heard. She quickly carried the tray back to the kitchen, then ran upstairs to the master bedroom, diving under the covers just as Obinna's footsteps echoed up the stairs. Obinna came into the room, hastily wiping his own eyes before putting on a brave, fake smile. "Good morning, my queen," Obinna said softly, kissing her forehead. "I have a quick board meeting at the headquarters. I will be back before lunch, and we will go look at venues for the wedding." "Okay." Nneka forced a smile. She forced her voice not to break. "Okay, baby, I love you." "I love you more," he replied, grabbing his suit jacket and leaving the room. The moment the door closed, Nneka collapsed to the floor. The pain in her chest was unbearable. She had spent her whole life fighting poverty. She knew what it did to a person. She would not, let Obinna destroy his father's legacy for her. She stood up. Her mind was made up. True love isn't just about holding on. Sometimes, true love is about letting go. She pulled her small travel bag from the closet. She didn't pack the expensive designer dresses Obinna had bought her. She didn't pack the diamond jewelry. She only packed the simple clothes she came with. She walked over to the desk and picked up a pen. Her tears fell, leaving wet, blurred circles on the paper as she wrote her final goodbye. She left her magnificent diamond engagement ring sitting right on top of the letter. But before she went to the airport to disappear forever, there was one last place she needed to go. The taxi pulled up outside a stunning, modern building in Ryu's 2. Above the glass doors, in beautiful golden letters, read the name, Nneka's Pot. This was a dream. The 50 million naira restaurant Obinna had built for her. He had taken her from a dusty roadside and given her a palace. As Nneka pushed the glass doors open, the smell of fresh morning spices hit her. Her heart shattered all over again. She slowly walked through the empty dining area, trailing her fingers along the velvet chairs and the polished marble countertops. This place was a physical proof that somebody had believed in her when she had nothing. From the kitchen, her head manager, Chef Chidi, walked out carrying a clipboard. "Ah, Madam Nneka. Good morning." Chidi smiled brightly. "We are prepping for the lunchtime rush. We are fully booked today." Nneka swallowed the massive lump in her throat. She forced her back straight. "Chidi," she said softly, reaching into her handbag. She pulled out the heavy master keys to the restaurant. Next to it, she placed the corporate bank tokens and the ownership deed. She laid them all gently on the counter. Chidi looked down, confused. "Madam, what is this?" "I am stepping down, Chidi," Nneka said, her voice cracking just slightly. "Effective immediately. I am returning the restaurant, the accounts, and every single asset back to Chairman Obinna. This 50 million naira investment belongs to his company, not me. I don't want to take a single kobo that might hurt his business." Chidi's eyes widened in sheer panic. "Madam, what are you saying? You are the soul of Nneka's Pot. You are marrying the chairman. Why are you returning the keys?" "Because a real queen does not sink a king's ship just so she can ride in it," she whispered. Before Chaik could recover himself from the shock of the news, Nneka turned around and walked out the glass doors, leaving behind her dream, her restaurant, and the 50 million naira that had changed her life. She got into the waiting taxi. "Namdi Azukiwa International Airport," she told the driver. "Please, hurry." Inside the Ease Group headquarters, the atmosphere in the boardroom was toxic. 12 board members, all bought and paid for by Chief Obinna, sat with predatory smiles. They were shocked, and there was blood in the water. The heavy mahogany doors swung open. Obinna walked in, his face an impenetrable mask of stone. Barrister Kalu walked closely behind him, carrying a briefcase. "Ah, the romantic chairman." Chief Balogun mocked, slow clapping from the head of the table. "Or should I say, the former chairman. Welcome, Obinna. Have you brought the public annulment of your engagement to that street caterer? Or have you brought the transfer of your 80% shares?" The board members chuckled, their eyes gleaming with greed. Obinna stood at the head of the table. He didn't sit down. He looked at the men who had eaten from his father's hands, men who had grown rich under his leadership, now plotting to steal his crown. "You are all vultures," Obinna said, his voice deadly quiet. "You think money is the only currency in this world. You think I will abandon a woman of pure character just to sit at a table with traitors?" Obinna signaled to Barrister Kalu. Kalu, with trembling hands, pulled out a massive legal document and placed it on the table. "I am Obinna Ease," he declared, his voice rising with raw power. "I built this company from the ground up, and I can build another one tomorrow. Take the shares. I choose Nneka." The boardroom went dead silent. Balogun's eyes widened in sheer disbelief. He never actually expected a billionaire to give up 8 billion naira for a woman. Balogun recovered quickly, a wicked grin spreading across his face. "You are a fool, Obinna, a colossal fool. Give him the pen. Let him sign away his life." "None of your business," Obinna snapped at Balogun. Obinna reached for the gold pen on the desk. He placed the tip on the signature line. He was about to give away his empire. "Stop!" The shout echoed off the glass walls. Tariq, Obinna's head of security, rushed into the room, followed closely by Femi, the company's lead private investigator. Obinna froze, the pen hovering inches from the paper. "Tariq, Femi, what is the meaning of this? We are in a board meeting. Chairman, do not sign that paper." Femi shouted, practically sprinting to the table. He threw a dusty, ancient-looking folder right on top of the transfer documents. "Sir, After Obinna was arrested last night, you ordered me to sweep his Lagos mansion for any more traps. I broke into his hidden wall safe. We found out exactly why he targeted Nneka so aggressively. Chief Balogun stood up angrily. Security! Remove these madmen from my boardroom. Sit down, Balogun. Who dash you boardroom? Obinna roared, his voice shaking the very glass of the windows. He looked at the investigator. Speak, Femi. Now. Femi opened the folder. He pulled out a series of faded, government-stamped documents bearing a massive royal crest. Sir, Femi explained, his voice trembling. Obinna needed absolute proof that Nneka was a commoner to trigger the will. So, he paid Nneka's aunt Ngozi to steal her late father's locked iron box. Obinna broke it open and found these faded papers. But because they were written in an ancient, traditional Igbo dialect, Obinna couldn't read them. He assumed they were just worthless debt bonds from a ruined village. He tossed them in his safe to mock her with later. But he was arrogant. Sir, he didn't look at the wax seal. I took it to a cultural archivist at 3 a.m. Sir, Nneka's late father was not just a poor man in debt. His real name was not Emeka. His name was Prince Ezeka of the Uranto Kingdom, one of the wealthiest, oil-rich traditional kingdoms in the East. The entire boardroom gasped. Obinna dropped the pen, his eyes widening in shock. 25 years ago, Femi continued, Prince Ezeka was secretly exiled by a rival royal faction. He changed his name, moved to Abuja, and lived in poverty to hide his only daughter from royal assassins. The debt he owed was a smokescreen to keep them off the grid. Obinna stared at the documents. You mean? Yes, Chairman. Kalu, the lawyer, shouted, his eyes scanning the royal decree. The current Ig of Uranto passed away 3 days ago. The rival faction that exiled them was overthrown. The kingdom has been searching for the lost heir. So, Nneka is not a commoner. She is a direct, recognized royal princess of the Uranto kingdom. Her bloodline holds wealth that dwarfs this entire company. Obinna slowly picked up the will. He looked at Chief Balogun, whose face was now sweating profusely, drained of all color. The will states, Obinna read, his voice dripping with venomous satisfaction, that I must marry a woman of royal or billionaire pedigree. Gentlemen, my fiancée is a royal princess. The clause is fulfilled. Obinna took the transfer document giving away his 80% shares, and right in front of Balogun's terrified face, he ripped it in half. You lose, Balogun, Obinna whispered. Security, escort these traitors out of my building. They are all fired. Obinna had won. He had secured his empire, and he had the most incredible woman in the world waiting for him. He rushed back to his Maitama mansion, his heart soaring. But when he burst through the heavy front doors and sprinted up to the master bedroom, the room was chillingly silent. Nneka, he called out. Baby, we won. No answer. The closet was open. Her bag was gone. Then, his eyes fell on the desk. He saw the glittering diamond ring and the tear-stained letter beneath it. Obinna's hand shook as he read her words. A king belongs on his throne, not in the dirt with me. I refuse to be the reason you lose your father's empire that I love you so much, my king. But I believe love is not always holding on. Your thoughts will forever be with me. You deserve the best. I won't let you go down. You've worked hard to be where I are. Take care, my love. No, no, no. Obinna choked out, the reality hitting him like a physical blow. She had sacrificed herself for him. Just then, his phone buzzed. It was Tariq, the security chief. Chairman. Tariq shouted over the phone. I just got a call from Chef Chidi at Nneka's pot. Nneka was there an hour ago. Sir, she surrendered the master keys, the bank tokens, and the deed to the restaurant. Obinna's heart practically stopped. She hadn't just walked away from him. She had walked away from her ultimate dream just to protect him. Send men to the airport, train stations, motor parks, Tariq. Obinna screamed, sprinting out the door. Do not let her leave Abuja. At the airport, Nneka walked with a shattered heart. She was buying a one-way ticket to a remote village, planning to disappear forever so Obinna could keep his billions. But as she stepped toward the departure gate, her path was suddenly blocked. 6 massive men, wearing tailored suits with gold royal pins on their lapels, surrounded her. They didn't look like police. They looked like an elite royal guard. Before Nneka could scream for help, the back door of a customized Rolls-Royce opened. An elderly man, dressed in magnificent, heavy traditional royalty garments, stepped out. He carried a staff of gold and ivory. He walked up to Nneka, his eyes filled with tears, and slowly, the powerful man bowed his head. "We have searched for you for 25 years, Your Highness," the elderly man said, his voice trembling with reverence. "I am the Prime Minister of Untold. It is time to come home, Princess Nneka. Your throne awaits." Obinna thought he had to save Nneka from the streets. But now, Nneka belonged to a kingdom, and the ancient kingdom of Untold does not let its princesses marry common billionaires. The tables haven't just turned. They have been entirely broken. What? Did you see that coming? Nneka gave up a 50 million naira restaurant and the love of her life just to save him, but it turns out she is a whole royal princess. Obinna won his company back, but he was too late at the airport. Her family's prime minister has taken her. Will the ancient royal family of Untold accept a real estate billionaire, or will they force her to marry a prince of their choosing? The drama in Part 4 is going to be absolutely legendary. The ultimate clash of corporate billions versus ancient royal wealth. If that restaurant scene made you tear up, you must smash that like button right now. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the explosive Part 4. I want to read your comments right now. Did Nneka do the right thing by returning the 50 million naira restaurant to Obinna, going to get his princess back from a whole kingdom? Drop your thought below, and let's talk. See you in the next video. If you missed the Part 1 and 2 of this story, please follow the link on the description or comment section to watch them.